The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magic Bricks webinar, our endeavor to empower you with insights on the Indian real estate market performance and consumer sentiments on property prices in the next upcoming months. The topic of today's session is how to get best ROI from real estate investment in India. And our guest speaker today is Yash Joshi. He is the Managing Director, Management with RMZ Corp. A passionate real estate professional, Yash Joshi has a rich experience of over 15 years in real estate. His prior experience in industrial sales, international trading, and service industry gives him the insight and a 360-degree view to making realistic assessments on the demands and expectations of real estate developers. Previously, Mr. Yash was involved in leasing and land acquisition at RMZ Corp. Thereafter, he was responsible for establishing RMZ Homes, which he heads. Prior to his association with RMZ Corp, he worked with Colliers International, post which he worked with C.B. Richards Ellis as the head of transactions for the Western region. He holds a bachelor's degree in science from Mumbai University. So, without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Yash.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Aradhana, for the introduction. Today I come here to talk about the luxury real estate segment and the basic question on return of investment. Many of you who are outside Bangalore, Hyderabad and Chennai may not have heard about the name RMZ. Let me please start and introduce you to my company, RMZ Corp. Primarily headquartered in Bangalore, we grew organically into Chennai and Hyderabad and opportunistic and strategic developments into Pune and Kolkata. We have since then exited Kolkata. When we established in 2002, our main aim was to develop commercial office space and reach the prima donna position. We have over 15 million square feet developed since inception, and the assets under management today are valued at approximately US $2.5 billion. We have joint ventures with Ascot International. We have a robust financial profile. We entered into homes and hospitality in 2011. We have strong design, project sourcing and execution capabilities, and a strong marketing and leasing team. We announced our entry in development of residences and are offering for the premium and luxury segment. We have 3 projects, totally offering of approximately 1.1 million square feet, spread across premium condominiums, luxury condominiums, and luxury villas. At RMZ Homes, we believe that life is not just about living, but living beautifully. That was my introduction on RMZ Corp and RMZ Homes, the division and the vertical which I head at RMZ. Let us discuss on luxury real estate in India. At the onset, let me please give the credits from which various information has been sourced. Towards the end, we do recognize every source and have mentioned the credits in the credits. What is luxury residential home? In our opinion, in India, the residential estate market is developed and we have only 2 markets, luxury being one and everything else. The luxury market pricing is not entirely internationally fueled. It also results from spending habits of local entrepreneurs. Market studies indicate that this market shall be of approximately $180 billion by 2020. The main question which people ask as to what is the price or what is the ticket price for a project to be termed as luxury. Nothing can be as vague a question as this particular. Across various geographies with branded partners, exclusive features, and select community of homes, luxury homes could be as less as 5 crores a unit. Luxury homes could cost as much as 50 crores a unit. Luxury homes does not necessarily mean that it is the finish and the brand. Luxury homes also means as to what are the services, amenities, facilities, their operations, and their service level which are being offered, which define a property to be luxury or otherwise. We are the fastest growing real estate market in the world. The luxury housing market is fueled by positive demographics, higher income levels, housing demands, and a greater trend towards nuclear families. Luxury housing is emerging as one of the most vibrant, dynamic segment. As per Jones Lang LaSalle, this is not more than 5% of the total market. How does an ultra high net worth individual define a home as luxury or otherwise? 25% of them decide based on its location. 16% of them decide based on its size. 18% of them decide on FFE or interiors in the common parlance. 13% of them define it on architectural significance. 8%, just 8% define on automation, but I'm sure this will soon increase as India becomes more and more tech savvy with the growing youngsters who have access to higher income levels. Only 15% decide whether a project is luxury or otherwise based on its exclusivity. The common average growth record is real estate shall grow at 11.2% and reach $180 billion by financial year 20 estimated. If you look at it, 830,000 units are required in Mumbai, 800 about units in NCR, 220,000 in Bangalore, 180,000 in Chennai. Pune is more than Bangalore at 300,000. Going ahead, going ahead, apologies for the technical glitch. It happens most of the times. Is there an architectural style to call a project luxury or otherwise? You could call it by any other name. You could call it French provincial, neoclassical, or transitional contemporary, which is my favorite statement when I call bespoke luxury beacons. Upscale branded residences have India have paved way for a slew of projects of opulence and grandeur. I shall name them in the next slide. The C-suite of the corporate world, successful entrepreneurs and business tycoons, the euphoria of luxury living has now become a way of life. Branded residences are geared towards the super rich that prefer the conveniences and have a snob value. Impulsive buyers are few and rare, but they too indulge in acquiring addresses which they can boast of. There are more details than just architecture of a home. What is the objective of buying a home? Before you buy a home, please have a checklist. Have its credibility done. Check the prudence of the documentation. Are you really in a mood to commit? Is it easy to look after a much larger unit than what you're accustomed to? Do you want branded partners in design? Are you happy with their quality? Not always all designs suit everybody. Please check what you are getting into. Know your neighbors. It is a very old saying that birds of the same feather flock together. Would you be more comfortable with a different set of neighbors, or would you be comfortable with the set of neighbors along with whom you are acquiring into a property? Please check whether the amenities and facilities are enough, adequate, and of use to you. There's no point to have a putting green in your property and pay a premium if you have never picked up a golf club. Look at the investment rationale. Decide what is your horizon. Factor in transaction costs such as stamp duty, brokerage, and of recent VAT and service tax. The number of taxes which go on adding into a property are substantial, and it could dent your budget far more than you had expected. When you exit, there will always be a tax liability. They tax you when you buy a property. They also tax you when you sell a property. If you are looking at this property as an investment and the return on it, you have to factor in the tax liabilities at the time of exit. Check on whether the infrastructure in and around this property is keeping pace with the development of the area in general. Assess competition pricing. Instead of competition pricing, I would say assess what value the competition is delivering at a price. Luxury homes offer more value in terms of amenities, facilities, their operations, and maintenance. It is important to know the SLAs as to how these properties would be maintained. Based on all these above, you shall be able to assess whether you want to make an investment, what are the kind of returns you will get, or otherwise. From a personal standpoint, personal viewpoint, investing into a property and hoping that the rentals or the lease rentals you collect out of this would pay for the return is something which you should not consider. The return on investment on any real estate transaction, whether it is commercial, whether it's retail or a residential asset class, primarily comes from asset or capital appreciation. To make book profits and have the capital appreciation to your account, one has to deal this property as stock and dispassionately sell it or purchase it when and as when required. Most of us, we keep on buying properties and never think of divesting. This is a wrong strategy, but this emanates from the culture as to where we grew up from. We have to develop real estate as an investment opportunity. If you have to develop the dispassionate amount of treating it as a stock. Book your losses or cut your losses and definitely book profits during a lifetime. That is what we say, keep an horizon as to how long you want to remain invested. On the residential segment, the top brands, luxury brands, are vying to enter India to make this as their destination. Some of the names which you would have heard in various media: Armani, Philip Stark, Michael Schumacher, Disney, Donald Trump, Swarovski, Versace, Four Seasons, and the Ritz-Carlton. These are the top brands which are entering into India at various destinations, a few of them in Bangalore too, to offer you branded residences. Branded residences offer you or deliver a promise to you of offering amenities and facilities and their continuous operation based on their brand image, whether it's a Ritz-Carlton or it's a Four Seasons. At Four Seasons, they will offer you to change your bed linen twice a day if required, with a linen which has 760 threads per square inch. detail, eye for detail, for such quality is what luxury is all about. Bangalore is the third largest market for luxury property sales and product offerings after Mumbai and NCR. The factors fueling Bangalore's rise to the top is quality of construction is far more superior in Bangalore when compared to the rest of the country. Design, ventilation, floor-to-floor ceiling, amenities, floor plans, building elevations and construction aspects are among reasonable factors which fuel Bangalore's rise to the top. Data shared by IPC shows that much of city's luxury home is happening in central and north Bangalore. Bangalore, when it started from a lazy capital to a vibrant IT city, started growing in the south. Growth corridor became east. Growth corridor today is north. Today there's also a demand, a much higher demand for luxury housing. Hence, you will see that the luxury housing corridor is defined as north corridor. There is nothing luxurious in the north. The only thing is a practical way because you're about 12 kilometers from MG Road and about 20 minutes away from the international airport. People who aspire to live and continue to live in a luxury address, their basic need would be much more frequent flying than others. They would like the airport to be far nearer the home. So they reach home early. When they come back, they leave home late when they fly out. Just a few basic things, and there you have North Bangalore as the luxury destination in Bangalore. It has a very interesting observation that the luxury segment in Bangalore is also fueled by residents of Kolkata and Chennai. Residents of Kolkata and Chennai are investing substantially in the luxury segment in Bangalore. There are about 5,400 luxury units under various stages of construction and planning as per L.J. Hooker property source. Bangalore approximately registers about 100 luxury units per quarter, which includes villas on a quarterly basis. Seeing this, I have finished my presentation and go into the next session of inviting questions which I will answer. I thank you for your patient hearing, and these are the credits which we shall now disperse, and we are here to take your questions and answer them to the best of our abilities.
Thanks for the insightful presentation, Mr. Yash. Let's quickly take up the questions now. I request you to read out the questions. Mr. Girish will be helping out reading out the questions, and I request you to answer the questions so that all our users may listen to your insights.
The first question is from Rafi Ali, and the question is, Modi government is going to make a real estate regulatory bill. Will it be good for industry? Yes, your opinion?
Rafi, it was the endeavor of the last government and the current government to make a real estate bill. We have at RMZ already formulated our documentation to be in norm with the real estate bill, which actually has been drafted with a lot of support from the central body called CREDAI, C-R-E-D-A-I. We hope that the real estate bill does come into play, as it will then necessarily make people to play on a level playing field.
The next question is, Do luxury properties yield better return than premium or affordable homes? The question is by Farhan.
Farhan, as I said, any return on any property one has to consider from the very fact of capital appreciation. To book capital appreciation and book profit, one has to necessarily decide on divesting out of that property. While divesting out of the property, one has to keep in mind what would be the exit tax. Hence, if you are looking at it, exiting a property at a shorter term, maybe luxury housing would give you a better return. If you are looking for divesting out of a medium to long term, maybe premium housing would give you that return. Affordable housing, I would say, should not be bought for speculation. It should be bought for use because it has very clear segmentation. Those people who really want to have a home and live in it, leave the affordable segment to them.
We have a question from Bhavna Mongia. It says, do you think IT setups help in appreciating capital values of property more than the rental values? What kind of impact do you think it has on real estate capital market and the rental market?
IT setups basically get you educated gentry who are professionally qualified and professionally employed. These professionally employed people are more liable to migrate in and out of cities, change jobs more frequently. Such community prefers housing on rental rather than investing in capital values and create.
Next question is from Shabnam, and the question is, I have budget of 10 lakhs for land and 30 to 40 lakhs for flat. Which area in the city is the best for purely investment purpose?
Shabnam, which city are you talking about?
It will be for Bangalore.
Is it about Bangalore? Shabnam, if you're talking about Bangalore, then I would request you that please invest 30 to 40 lakh for a flat. With a 10 lakhs, I don't think so you'll get much of a land in the city of Bangalore. It could be on the outskirts. It all depends on where you grew up and what is your social circle revolving around.
Preeti has asked, what I should keep in mind while investing in a property in Delhi?
Preeti, good afternoon. Very interesting question. I was in Delhi about 15 years ago. At that point of time, my answer would have been totally different. Today, when you are talking about investing in Delhi, I would say, first and foremost, please invest in a property which is about 3 kilometers from the nearest metro station. Metro is the future mode of transportation, which shall cut you across traffic and time, and is the equivalent in Delhi what Mumbai has as the suburban travel system. It would be practically impossible and possibly prohibitively expensive to move with personal transportation within the city of Delhi in times to come. And hence I would request you, the major factor apart from your social circle and your comfort level is to invest in a property which is near around the metro station.
Swaraj is asking, what is the approximate yield one can expect in luxury residential market?
Like all residential properties across the city, on an average you could expect a commercial and an all-inclusive yield of approximately 2.5% per annum per year on the purchase capital value on a luxury property.
Shruti has asked, how to start investing in real estate at a young age or early phase of your career? What type of properties should youngsters invest in? And at what stage of construction should one enter and when should one exit from the market?
Shruti, from the question, I presume you're in your early 20s. Welcome to this world of property investment. I would request, please decide which city you are more comfortable with, which are the likely cities you would be wanting to live in it. Choose one of them and invest in a small property, which is nothing but a stepping stone to a much larger property. Look at a developer with a proven track record. Look at the documentation. And this I would want to say to every youngster, please invest those 10,000–15,000 rupees, appoint a lawyer, and get title due diligence done on the property. It is better to pay this money to the lawyer and keep yourself at comfort level than repenting later.
We have a question from Survi Gupta, who's saying, hello sir, which is more profitable buying, an independent house, plot of the same range, or a flat for earning maximum return?
As I said that you cannot earn a return out of property. Property gives you a very disproportionate rate in earnings. The only way you can earn from property is by appreciation of capital value. Knowing this in mind, I would request that you please buy an independent plot without any building, because you have not invested any more money or taken any loan to build any house, and the contractor has not made money out of it, nor the contractor supplier has made money out of it. So the cleanest investment would be buy a plot of land, keep it for some time, and sell it when the times are good.
Anwar has a similar question. He's asking, what do you reckon? Investing in land worth 42 lakhs or investing in flat worth 42 to 50 lakhs in Bangalore? It's for living purpose for me and my family.
Anwar, if it's for living purpose, it depends. What are you comfortable living in? And flat or a home? Going by the majority, you would say it's a home. Then please go ahead and buy a home. But please evaluate the conveniences you get while living in an apartment in terms of additional open space, in terms of a community, in terms of a security, in terms of neighborhoodness, in terms of giving your future generation people from another future generation to interact with. If you ask me, I would say in today's world, please invest in a flat.
Kiran has asked, Bangalore real estate have seen very high appreciation, especially in the last 3 years or so. Do you think there are possibilities of a real estate bubble bursting in Bangalore and in India when a new global economic crisis could arise?
Kiran, if somebody could predict real estate crisis happening day in and day out across various parts of the globe, many of us would not be investing, and hence many of us would not be also making profit out of it. I would say until you have substantially high disposable income, one should invest in a property which one wants to live in. When you invest in properties for speculation, then you have to follow the dispassionate principles of investing, either to stop loss or to book profit. I would leave it to your judgment while speculating on property, when, where, and how you want to sell or invest.
Hina has asked, what is the outlook for property in Mumbai northern suburbs in the next few months? Any chances of rate decreasing from an end user point of view?
Rate decreases from an end user point of view from way of taxes is definitely not there. It all depends on who is holding the property and what is the holding capacity of the current owner of the property, and it all makes a business sense or not to discount the property and divest or to continue holding on to it. In most cases, current owners of property have paid for the construction cost for the land with very little profit on hand, and hence I do not see a substantial reduction in the sale of property.
Another question by Anwar. He's asking any thoughts which is better city, Bangalore or Chennai for investing in apartment or land?
Anwar, if you speak Tamil, go to Chennai. If you speak Kannada, please remain in Bangalore.
Okay, the next question from Pradeep. He's saying, I recently bought a flat on Sarajpur Road. It's a 2 BHK flat. What kind of rental returns can I expect after 4 years of possession?
I presume Pradeep, right?
Yeah.
Pradeep, after 4 years of possession, you should expect approximately a yield of 5% of your purchase price. This is a fair estimate. Anything more than that, take it as a bonus and enjoy it. Anwar, I still want to say one more thing. You might have taken it as a jest. Anybody, anywhere who wants to invest in property, I would say that please be conversant with the local language in terms of read, write and speak. This will help you to walk your way through across the labyrinthine process of getting your property registered in your name, and should there be any dispute, you should be able to read the local documentation in the local language. Hence I said, if you speak Tamil, go to Chennai. If you speak Bangalore, remain. If you speak Kannada, remain in Bangalore.
Prabodh is asking, what is the market rate of return on property investment?
A rule of thumb, 2.5 to 3.5% of current capital value on residential, normal properties. A rule of thumb, 5%, 4.5 to 5% on commercial properties. I have yet to see any rule of thumb on investment in retail properties.
Hina has another question. She's asking, are property prices in Mumbai in a bubble because of speculation? Will the Modi government be able to do anything to make them more affordable?
Hina, I would say that Mr. Modi has been made the Prime Minister of India and has to look India as a geographical holistically. For him to look into Mumbai specifically, I think would be unfair on the mandate which has been thrust upon this by this country. Property prices in Mumbai are definitely very high compared to the rest of the India. Whether they are in a bubble or not is something which we'll have to wait for some more time to see. If they crash, we'll know it's a bubble. Today, if you want to invest in Mumbai, one should invest if and only if you want to have end use. If you are trying to invest to speculate in Mumbai, I would advise you against from doing it.
There's a question from Ankit Sharma. He's asking, I'm looking for investment of rupees 20 to 25 lakh in real estate with 3 to 5 year horizon. Please suggest the areas which I should opt for in Bangalore with decent appreciation in the next 3 to 5 years. Thanks a lot.
Ankit, I would request you to look at something in Electronic City if you're an IT professional. If you are in some other business, you can look at somewhere around Harloor Road. If you're more adventurous, you can look at areas between Rammurthy Nagar and Manyatya towards the northern corridor.
Next question is from Mahesh. He's asking, between land and apartment, which is a better investment bet for short and long term?
I have answered this question earlier for somebody. I would say please invest in land.
The next question is from Ramesh. He's asking, while choosing a luxury property, what are the things I should look for before investing?
As I said, before investing in any property, not only luxury, you have to look at the credentials of the developer. You have to look at the title documentation. Please spend that extra money in advance, hire a good lawyer who will give you a title opinion, and then ensure that you are paying everything overboard and nothing under the table.
Okay. I think somebody's copied the same question.
Rafi, you have possibly have the same question which Ramesh had, which I've just answered. So I think let's go ahead. Next question, please.
Neha is asking, what is the difference between luxury and premium luxury or super premium luxury? Is it differentiated on the basis of budget only, or are there other factors too?
There are other factors, Neha. Very interesting question. You have clubbed the top three altogether. Anybody can build a building with superior finishes, Italian marble, etc. Anybody can hire a top-notch architect like the Orubos or Bose International. Anybody can hire the best landscape artist to put up landscaping in the building. How do you differentiate three categories when these three things are common to any building? Buildings which offer you a holistic design with superior finishes, a host of amenities and facilities which are looked after for a longer period of time, far more efficiently, will appreciate faster, will be in demand, will be in vogue, and will be termed as luxury. The differentiation factor, if you want to go by a rule of thumb, is to look at a property, what are their maintenance standards and what are their service level agreements on providing these facilities and amenities, which will differentiate the boys from the men.
Next question is from Prabodh Malik. He's asking why most real estate projects delay by more than 2 to 3 years or 4 years.
While the perception is that the projects delay by 2 to 3 or 4 years is there, no developer would actually like to delay his or own project, because the capital carrying cost is something which actually is very detrimental to the profit balance sheet. There would be genuine reasons as to why projects delay by 2, 3 or 4 years. Hence, Mr. Prabodh, I would request you to please check into the documentation of any project before investing. Whether the developer has got all the permissions required, whether there is financial closure. Once you have look at these two things before investing, I would say that your experience on delay of projects would be far more different.
What should you take?
What's the time? 50 to 45 minutes. Another 4-5 minutes.
Okay, the next question is from Hina. She's asking, I'm planning to buy a 1 BHK flat in Kharghar, but it's near the cremation ground. Is it good for investment purpose?
From investment purpose, I mean from resale, I would say is not a good investment, because not everybody is thinking logically when they buy an apartment. While I would say that it's the best thing to have it nearby so that the last journey is not very painful. But from an investment purpose, request you at least don't buy the unit overlooking the crematorium.
Okay, another question from Hina. What are the important things which needs to be checked when buying a resale flat? Please give a checklist of the documentation which should be inspected.
The first checklist, Hina, would be to appoint a lawyer and not try to do it yourself. Pay the 10,000–11,000 rupees extra as lawyer's fees, who take you to the transaction, hold your hand, and give you the comfort that your investment is being handled through safe hands. There are various checklists available, and depending on state to state, region to region, this could vary. But when you take a resale flat, please get the original sale deed agreement, not a copy, the original sale deed agreement when the developer transacted this flat to the first purchaser.
Rafi has another question. He's asking, now in India, a stable central government, but state government in Karnataka is in opposition. So will this be good or bad for the industry?
Ravi, incidentally, if you look at the history, Karnataka has always been in opposition to the center. From the ruling party statement. Briefly, we had the Congress at the center and the Congress at state. But to give to the Constitution, I would say that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar did develop a Constitution which did compel the union governments to act in all fairness to the state government. I don't see much opposition or any disturbance because of two parties ruling, one in Delhi and one in Bangalore.
Next question is from Anwar. He's asking, Bangalore has a lot of B Katha land and most banks do not give loans against these properties. Only some financial institutions give loans. Any insight if this will change, and also why is this?
Anwar, you should understand what does B Khata mean. B Khata means this is land meant for public purposes. It could be grazing, it could be village pathways, it could be bullock cart pathways, it could be water streams which enable to fill up lakes. Any B Khata land should be left independent of all development. I would go with the majority of the people who do not give loan to buy B Khata land. Nobody is going to take a loan to buy a B Khata land to keep it open and not make money out of it.
The next question is from Kunal. He's asking, where does luxury projects exist for a person who has only rupees 50 lakh to invest but still aspires to live luxuriously?
Kunal, nobody can stop you from living luxuriously because perception of luxury is in the mind. Unfortunately, for 50 lakhs, you'll have to go much farther away from civilization to build something very luxurious.
Prabodh is asking why Kolkata real estate is so high compared to Delhi NCR. Also, we understand that about 40% excess supply of housing stock in the market predominantly is due to NRI, people who are working overseas, people investing for second or third house, not essentially staying, or for using it as a transit stay. Will these not affect drop in real estate demand?
Prabodh, over the period of time, it would be cheaper to stay on rent than on buying property. It will take about 20 odd years for India to mature into this market. Till then, buying real estate would be expensive. One has to do nothing but bear with it.
Ramesh is asking how to decide if the property is good for investment purposes.
Ramesh, drop various parameters of costs, expected returns, realistic returns, exit costs, form a balance sheet or form an Excel sheet. You yourself can counter one property against the other, just like as how you do on maybe some purchasing site and you compare phone models.
Jashias asks, if I have an option of buying a bigger mid-range property or a smaller luxury property, what should I choose?
It depends on how many people you want to accommodate in this and what stage of life you are, Jayashri. If you are a young spinster in 30 and continue to remain so, working professional, I would suggest you buy a luxury property which is far more smaller. If you have to look after a larger section of society apart from you, I would request going for a mid-range larger property.
Ritesh Anand has asked, I'm planning to buy a premium golf property. Is it better to buy facing golf or the backside? The current price differential is about 1,000 rupees per square feet. Will the gap widen or not in the future?
Ritesh, obviously, the very fact that you're buying a property on a golf course, you would be an avid player of golf. If you're an avid player of golf and you're buying something on the golf course, I would definitely suggest please buy property facing the golf course. Only check that there's enough water to water the golf course, because water is going to be of scarcity and you would not like to face a golf course which is yellow in color.
Kiran is asking, top tier builders charge a premium, but second tier ones charge less. Whose property would see higher appreciation in a same location?
It has been my experience that reputed builders look after the property far more well which reduces the rate of depreciation of a completed property. Going by it, I would say that please invest in a property of a reputed developer. But that does not mean that a new player will not become reputed in the future.
Kishore is asking, in North Bangalore, which particular locality is best to buy property worth within rupees 40 lakhs? What would like to do? Sorry. I would like to know about the location that ensures the maximum appreciation in the next 5 years. What would be the appreciation? Please give me the percentage.
Please buy between Bellary Road, Yelahanka, Tanisandra and Ring Road. This property shall give you maximum appreciation, but please ensure that the property being developed has a minimum of 1.2 car parks per unit, because to definitely go to that location you will require cars, and if there are not enough car parks, the property will not appreciate.
We'll take last 2 questions. Kumar is asking, I have a budget of 4 crores which I want to invest in either a luxury housing project or a commercial office space. Any recommendation where I can get maximum return?
Luxury housing if you want to live. If you're just looking at annuity income, please go ahead and invest in a commercial property which shall give you annualized rental. Ensure that the commercial property is easily accessible to various amenities, public transportation and main corridors of roads.
Okay, the last question is from Surbhi. She's asking, for investment purposes, I want to purchase land in acres, agricultural or free or yellow zone. Can you guide me which area should I prefer so that it will fetch me a good return in coming years? This is around Bangalore.
Surbhi, in Karnataka, to buy agricultural land, you have to be an agriculturist. For you to be an agriculturist, your parents have to be an agriculturist, or you should be married to an agriculturist. If none of the above, please forget about buying agricultural land. Yellow zone is a residential property where residential can be developed, so you could go and buy property wherever it is yellow in the comprehensive development plan. I do not know exactly which area you live. Should you wish to get better returns, you can look at projects being offered by my company or by those of other reputed competitors.
Okay, so we'll take one last question. This is by Prabodh, and the question is, what are the provenness criteria of the builder or a developer?
Prabodh, it all depends on region to region, city to city. Bengal Ambuja is a very good developer in Kolkata. So when a developer or when a builder has a track record of delivering project after project towards completion, that is the basis of proven trackness criteria of a developer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this webinar. I hope I have answered your queries to the best of my ability. I would hand over this handle back to Aradhana, the moderator. Aradhana, over to you.
And I'm really thankful to our guest speaker today for conducting this informative webinar with us. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this webinar a success. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Yash, for taking the time out and having us. I hope you have a great evening ahead.
Thank you very much.